Oh, this is going to end up turning into a much more awkward situation. So, a while ago, I had made a video talking about the Neo Geo X Gold, which was going to be a little handheld version of a Neo Geo, and it was actually going to be put out by a company called Tommo, not by SNK themselves. And this was going to have shit tons of games on it in the future. They were going to allow the ability to have more games put out onto this system, and it's going to be pretty damn neat. Looked really nice. Had a little arcade stick that you could go and mess around with it, hook it up to a TV and stuff, so you had it at home and on the go. That seems really awesome on paper. I was really excited about it until more details started coming in, then even more details. Then I got my hands on the product, and then I was assured 100% I wasn't going to be purchasing it. Well, Tommo, the company that put it out, I guess really isn't performing up to the standards that SNK has. You see, SNK, whenever it comes to hardware, has kind of been like the Rolls-Royce of hardware. When you look at things like the AES, the MVS, the Neo Geo CD, especially that sweet fucking controller on there, the Neo Geo Pocket, the Pocket Color, which I always considered Pocket Color to be one of the best handhelds in the entire world, their standards are pretty damn high. And you've got to have some fucking cash to flash to be able to pick up a lot of their shit. That's all there is to it. Fucking high roller! But apparently, Tommo just isn't performing up to that standard, and I would say undoubtedly that, well, SNK is right in this regard. But the product's already out there. See, that's the issue. As a matter of fact, the contract that they have with Tommo is good for 3 more years. So all the way until 2016, these products can be sold. But SNK said that they pretty much put out a cease and desist order and a termination of said contract, that they don't want these products at all to be sold to anybody for any reason and ripped from store shelves. And if there's any kind of reason that you want to go and return a product, that you pretty much have to deal directly with the big box retailer or the online retailer that you purchased it from. Now, Tommo has gone on and said that, no, we're actually doing everything that we were contractually obligated to. In no way are we doing anything that's out of line. We're just going to continue doing what we're doing. That's where things are awkward, because you know what the next step is, right? Court. Well, possibly threats, and then court. See, the thing is, most people will be saying, well, why would SNK want to go and do something like that? They're kind of dick about it. Well, I can understand, because essentially, when you got the Neo Geo X Gold, you were expecting some quality hardware. Well, to begin with, number one, as a widescreen display. Why the fuck does it have a widescreen display if it's a 4x3 display for all their games? Think about that for just 1 sec. I can tell you why if you would like to know. You see, a 4x3 display in LCD form nowadays isn't readily available like a widescreen 16:9 display is. So they went the cheaper route. With SNK products, they're supposed to be of like high quality. You're not supposed to go the cheaper route, let alone go the route of something that doesn't make any fucking sense with the format of the product that you're selling. But, you know, whatever. Then it gets a little more awkward. Like, the inside of it, it turns out the chipset is essentially just another product that Tommo had already made. So they went an even cheaper route. So if you ever saw the Dingu or ever heard of that, that's what's inside the Neo Geo X Gold. And they even had like a soldered or glued on micro SD card. Because, man, they were really trying, weren't they? It seems that they put more effort into the outside molding of it to make an attempt to look like, hey, you're getting something that's really high quality. And even then, when you hold it in your hand, you don't feel like you're getting quality. As a matter of fact, you feel like you spent a little bit too much fucking money. And for all the people out there that got their hands on it prior to deciding to go and plunk down the cash to really purchase it, they always were just like, nope, I'm good. And 90% of people I know that were even satisfied with it were only satisfied with it from a collecting standpoint. And I sure as shit wouldn't feel satisfied with something collecting it, because if I collect something, it's because I want to get use out of it. And use out of this makes no fucking sense to me, because the emulator is fucking stolen. It's an emulator, folks. An emulator that they stole without even getting the authorized permission from the person who made said emulator. So let's wrap this all up here. Cheap product, cheap as fuck. You have the inside guts that are actually just another product, so it's really just a dingo. That's it, with a different case. Oh, and it's got an arcade stick with it. That also feels fucking cheap. And a fucking SD card that just smashed into it for sheer shits and giggles. And that was actually a rumor for a while, like, no, they would never do something. Oh, no, Tommo did. Oh. Yeah. That's not cool. But to me, if I was in charge over at SNK, I would have said, you have to go and make this, present it to us, and then we'll decide whether or not we can actually go further with this. If I would have seen a product like this, immediately I would have said, your ass is going to go straight back to the drawing board and do this from scratch, because it's apparent that you're fucking lazy, or we're just going to go elsewhere because it's apparent that you can't get it done. That's what should have happened. But we are now, God, how long has it been out for? Like a year now? It's been out for a while. So that's what makes this pretty damn awkward. I guess maybe SNK is kind of late to the party of people weren't all that impressed with it and didn't really like it, and sales really aren't through the roof like they potentially could have been. Maybe? I really don't know. It's more awkward when I can go and buy like a PSP 3000 and toss an emulator onto there and it's going to run a whole shit ton better. And at least the PSP is a quality handheld and isn't a cheap fucking turd. Oh, also helps the fact that I can go and toss, I don't know, an SNES, a Neo Geo Pocket Color, a Sega Genesis emulator, etc, etc, etc. Oh, and it's also a portable PlayStation 1. Gotta love that. So that ideally would be the same exact thing, except for this one has an official SNK Neo Geo branding on it. Which really isn't worth much of shit whenever it is, in fact, just a fucking smoldering turd. So, I just foresee bad things from here on out for potentially both companies, because it's just going to get really awkward, then it's going to get ugly. I don't know if it's going to be one of those out-of-court settlements. I don't know if it's just going to be a bunch of threats and Tommo's going to back down and, you know, actually cave into the cease and desist order. I don't know if there's going to have to be a whole shit ton of fucking, like, attorneys that are going to get involved with something like this. But either way, it's one of those things you don't really want to see happen. But, well, to be completely brutally honest, I saw it coming from miles away. But for anybody out there who's a fan of either company whatsoever, what's your take on it? You already know my take because I just got done saying it for the past, I don't even know how many fucking minutes because I can't keep track of time worth of shit. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin as always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.